Hi, welcome back to my channel, and today's topic is writer's block. So today's topic is brought to you by the fact that I am deep into writer's block. Now, I will acknowledge the fact that there is a lot of debate out there about whether writer's block exists or not. The people who say that writer's block does not exist say it doesn't exist because it is something that we kind of choose to give into because we just stop writing. We physically stop writing. And if we just keep on writing and just write crappy words, then eventually we can power through, and then we even have those crappy words that maybe we can revise later and make better. Now, I do kind of agree with this to a point. I think that in its most simplistic form, it totally makes sense. I think that there are always going to be variable factors that can disprove any theory, as the old scientist in me refuses to die. So let's just go with the idea that writer's block can exist, and I am going to give you some tips that I have made up for myself in order to get over this writer's block that I am experiencing right now. So the first one is to give critique as a critique partner or as a beta reader. Now, sometimes you're just too close to your own story, so it's really hard to continue to write that, but it doesn't mean that your writer brain doesn't work, and you can be reminded of that by reading another person's manuscript. And it is nice to just read another book, but if you're reading a manuscript with the idea that you're going to be giving valid critique that could make the story better, then you're still kind of exercising your writer brain. And in a lot of ways, it's kind of like, in my mind, the idea of stretching before you exercise. So you're kind of dipping your toe into the idea of working with plot structure and characterization and all that fun stuff that goes into writing, but you're doing it for someone else's story that you're not like this close to. So it's really nice because then you can work on those aspects of writing without feeling like it's your own story. You know what I mean. Yeah. Okay, so like I said, you can also just read. So reading a story that is well crafted and has already gone through all of the gamut of revisions and editorial and all of that fun stuff at a publisher, it's nice to read that and see what the shiny finished product looks like. It's kind of like giving you that goal in the distance, like, I want to reach that goal and I need to get there, and this is what it looks like. I forgot what it looks like because I was reading my own crappy words for a little bit too long. So yes, reading other stories really does help because it kind of just reminds us of what good story is, just like how reading our critique partner's story kind of reminded us about the process of writing while we were critically thinking. Okay, so the next one is to take a break. Now, yes, this is where those people who say writer's block doesn't exist kind of point to, like, writer's block exists for you because you're literally letting it block you from writing. You're not writing because you believe you have writer's block. And I do agree with that, like I said before, but I also do think that sometimes we do get burnt out. We lose capital in our creative well, or I call it my word bank, and I've spent all of my words, so I need to go and refill my word bank. And I like to do that by doing other things and absorbing other creative things such as movies, TV shows, mangas, manhwas, anime, or other books, like I said before. So yes, taking a break is not a bad thing, and taking a break doesn't mean that you're just being a lump on a log and doing absolutely nothing. You can still be absorbing other things and stories by watching TV or watching movies and things like that. And you know, the great thing about being a creative is literally watching TV is kind of helping us, and so it's kind of work. So you're not working, if that makes sense. It's a great field where when I was a little kid, if I had known that I would eventually get to this point in my adult life, then I would have been quite ecstatic. So the next one is to go to a writing conference or a book event. Now, it doesn't need to be a full week-long writing conference where you're going to intensive writing sessions. It can legit be just like a one-day thing. There are some great writing conferences that I actually already talked about, so I will link that down below. I have a lot of blog posts about it. I have some vlogs about how to pitch yourself at writing conferences, so I'll link that up here. But anyway, a writing conference is a great place to go to because A, it has great writing professionals, industry professionals who will talk to you about the writing process and about the industry. It has great networking abilities, but you're around other creatives, you're around other writers, and you can talk to them about your writing and you can get your creative juices flowing, and it just gets you going and jazzing and vibing. And every time I have gone to any type of book event or writing event, I have always wanted to write afterwards because something has been kind of broken free in my mind that was previously blocked, and now I can see it a little bit fresher because I got to talk to people unabashedly about this thing that I love. In the same vein, if you cannot go to a writing event yourself, I actually think when a friend goes to a writing event or a book event, it's actually really helpful because when they come back, oftentimes they want to talk about it. So you should be that person that they talk to about it. You should pick their brain about it, ask them for all the details, ask them for some of the great insider advice that they got that you can't find anywhere else on the internet. And when you're talking about it, again, you get those moments of being able to unabashedly discuss this amazing industry that we're in, your story, your craft, the act of writing your story, and maybe it'll break something free and you'll kind of like be able to borrow some of that shine that your friend got from going to the writing conference. I love talking to other people about events they go to because it often gets me like residual jazzed, like contact high. Okay, and my final piece of advice is going along with those people who say that writer's block just doesn't exist and it's just right through your writer's block. Write those crappy words, put anything down on the page. Stream of consciousness, like skeleton outline writing, cold, blank, flat synopsis writing, like just kind of explore your character's inner mindset, put them in situations that would never exist in the book or in your world, but just like figure out how they would get out of it because you need to figure out your character. Just anything. Write diary entries, write about your own life. And then maybe you'll figure out what you are passionate about and you can add elements of that into your story and then be excited about your story again. There's so many opportunities for you to just write and inspire yourself. And I know that that sounds like very strange, but we can definitely inspire ourselves, and we are losing out on that chance if we're not just putting something down on the page and kind of working through our blocks and our issues. It's the whole idea of like talking through your problems, and then as soon as you say it out loud to like a friend, you're like, oh, that's why I'm upset. It's the same thing with writing. Just write through your problems, and then maybe just writing it down on the page, you'll be like, oh, that's what I'm missing. So yes, that's my final piece of advice, and that's what I'm about to go do after I finish this video. So I hope you liked this video. If you have any comments or questions, then you can put it down below, or you can tweet at me at @CatShow. And if you like this video, I'd love to see a thumbs up or a subscription to my channel, and I will see everybody next time. Bye!